Do you think that you'll use the library at all?
It wasn't really something I considered until I said, hey, let's go to the event and see, because I bet the children will really enjoy it.
Do your children play musical instruments?
Not at the moment, but she's desperate to play the drum. So
that's
for the pipe band.
Yeah?
So when I said we could go and you might be able to play the instrument, she said, will there be drums?
What was your name again?
Lillian.
Lillian, okay. And Lillian, you're interested in playing the drums, is that right? Yeah, why? Why do you like the drums?
My friend plays them, and she brought me along some drums around from her house and let me have her drumming pad because she had another one, and she gave me drumsticks, but she said I'd need to get my own drumsticks.
And do you like the drums because they're really noisy, or?
I don't know why I like them.
Drawn to them. Oh, that's great. So I'm speaking with Zach at the moment. He's a local musician and works in sort of music social enterprises. And as someone who's has experience working in with Paragon and organisations that focus on music as accessibility, how do you think this sort of musical instrument library will contribute to that and help that area to grow in Scotland?
Yeah, hopefully it'll help massively, because I think that for creating access for people to come and borrow an instrument for X amount of time is brilliant for people who just want to start out, or who are maybe curious about what music's about, or want to try a completely new instrument from maybe they're a guitarist and want to just try piano. I think it's a great initiative.
Do you think that Music Broth sounds like something that Scotland needs?
Oh, definitely. I think it's an amazing idea, and I think it will do brilliant things in the community, and it seems really awesome.
So your name's Flynn? Yeah. Do you think that this kind of musical instrument library, what makes you excited about that?
Being able to come and play different instruments. Like, you might have heard someone playing that and think that sounds really good. I want to come and see that. And then they might have it here, but they might not.
And you can have a go at something without having to buy it. It makes it a bit more accessible, doesn't it?
Because they cost hundreds or thousands of pounds to get it, and then if you didn't like it, then that's a lot of money to waste.
Music for them, see what
on the earth, my friend. That's all we are in the end. Oh, you cut down all the lines you drew. I can take the hit, but I'm sorry, I don't want the bruise. Your voice gets a little loud when there's nothing to talk about. You shout.
I think I'm recording this.
Dear, and have you got time enough for me? Sing me a song.
می‌دانیم که تعدادی از شما احساس می‌کنید که در حال حاضر از زندگی روزمره خود
normale. Și izolați în momentul de față și poate căutați.
Sing me a song. Wrap it up around me.
Guys, it's Jenny from Music Broth here.
Hello everyone, my name is Iman.
My name's Andrea.
Hi there, I go by the name of Elle, and this is my beatbox.
going to be hitting stuff and you want to make a nice snappy snare sound, then you hit them with this sort of side on, so that they're kind of vertical. And otherwise you get you hear the difference. Okay, so I've got a variety of objects here. I've got a box for a kick drum.
Only move this part of the hand to be able to come up with a clear sound.
Yeah is good for helping you improve your tone.
We've got some very special guests tonight. The people behind Music Broth are going to be live in the studio. Music Broth is a charity that's like a musical instrument library for the community. They do workshops and loads of great stuff. So, Jen, you maybe start. What is Music Broth? What is it?
Yeah, I mean, great introduction, Mark. Thank you. You know us pretty well. So, but for everybody else, we're a musical instrument library. We're based in Glasgow, but we work across Scotland now. We have over 1,400 instruments and equipment in our library, and we just want to get instruments and stuff out to people in the community. To help people to access music and be able to play music. We support individuals, bands, organizations, to do gigs and stuff like that. And we're basically just trying to make music happen whenever we can.
How many instruments is there? The last time I've been in the Music Broth, I've been involved with some of the workshops in the past, and it's a great atmosphere.
I think James is laughing.
There is a lot of instruments.
Yes, and James is laughing because he's like, there's at least 20 amps at my house, because that's what we've been doing in lockdown. Like, we've been taking stuff home and fixing it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's 1,400. There's 1,400 in. Sorry, Mark. There's 1,400 instruments that we know that we have.
100.
Wow. But that includes like books and stuff as well. So we have like learner books and things. So that's everything from like a tin whistle to a piano. Everything has a Music Broth number, and some are in varying conditions. You know, some of them come in pretty knackered, and it takes a while to fix them up. And if something's really totally utterly knackered, like somebody's put a foot through a guitar or something, we'll still harvest it for parts. You know, we'll use it for parts for something else. But even harvesting for parts is pretty rare. We usually manage to fix most stuff.
That's great. So most things can be fixed.
I like how you say we've all been taking stuff home and everyone else is taking home music books and guitars, and I have the big amps.
Music Broth is an organisation lending musical instruments to people who wouldn't normally have access to them during the pandemic, based in Govan Hill in Glasgow.
Together in harmony, so encouraged to keep you safe. As we all try to do our part, this is the very least we can do.
Hey everyone, this is Jen O'Brien, co-founder of Music Broth, as well as online tutorials and instrument deliveries during lockdown. We also did some online in-person creative work. And here are a couple of our tutors, Grace Dale and Zach Scott, to talk you through one of the projects we did with some young people and their song premiering We Are the Young People of Today.
Hello everybody, I'm Grace and this is Zach, and we are the songwriting tutors for Music Broth, and we're here today to talk a little bit about the song We Are the Young People of Today that came out of a recent project that we've ran online called Breaking News.
Yeah, so I think we landed on the idea of breaking news after thinking about how young people in general were being affected during the lockdown in the UK and also just throughout the world, and how sometimes their stories and their voices might have been missed or might not have been heard, and obviously that's causing all sorts of different issues. Even right now, as we speak, young people not being able to, enjoy the sort of everyday things that we might have experienced when we were young ourselves.
We met every day for 5 days, Monday to Friday, for an hour and a half in the mornings. And the way that we wanted to structure it, as you said earlier, Zach, about the newspaper, we wanted to think, okay, what does the front page of a newspaper look like? Usually we've got our main headline and then we've got little stories around the edge that are kind of snippets of information. So I think in our first session, we decided to come up with a little story or a jingle. And that was how we structured the first part of the week. And everybody came up with a little jingle about an object that they'd found in their house and something that was important to them. And then from there, we just kind of went on to our group song, which was inspired by a musical jam that we had that kind of created some feelings of frustration. And from that, we decided, actually, what are you frustrated about? What do you want to shout about? So everybody contributed their ideas for a verse. Rosie contributed her ideas for a bridge, and then we all came together to create a kind of group chorus and taught each other the tune and the lyrics for that. The playing in time with everybody over Zoom on the internet is really tricky, but actually there are ways around it. And we kind of, during the workshops, decided that it might be easier for us all to be muted and one person to be unmuted and kind of lead that section or that chorus or the verse. So for example, for Rosie's bridge in the song, she was the one that was leading that and we all followed her with our mutes on. And then for another section, I was playing piano and everybody followed me. And I think everybody had a go at doing that throughout the song. So that was one way that we managed to overcome the challenge of playing together and the latency over Zoom as well. Hopefully in the recording of the final track, it will sound like we were all in the same room playing together at the same time. And we managed to do that through a little recording technique that, as well as recording on Zoom, we all record on a separate device, on a phone or an iPad or whatever else you might have. And then all the participants sent their individual recordings to Zach and I, and we edited it together to form the final track. So there are ways around recording and performing together online. It just may take slightly longer than what it would in a face-to-face workshop. And
I think it probably surprised us both that, performances, each of these little individual chunks that we recorded separately, or even if we were jamming with one person's audio being on, that being a valid performance in its own right. So I think that, this idea of a performance being a grand event doesn't necessarily always have to be the case. And I think that we have to be brave enough to reframe the idea of performances being quite an intimate opportunity to share and connect. But it's definitely made me reevaluate how I define performance and how we can think about what performance is in the future and how we...
So I think the fact that we actually had a small group really benefited the young people involved because they had a safe and inclusive place to voice their opinions and actually get across what they wanted to say. But also, I think we saw some increased confidence throughout the 5 days, and definitely just had a lot of fun and a lot of laughs. And as you were saying before, the opportunity to collaborate with people that actually they may not have had the opportunity to collaborate with before, but also to form new bonds and relationships that actually maybe, hopefully, we'll be able to continue face to face in the future. I think it was a really, really nice 5 days.
I think it's all about connection, isn't it? And I think that potentially taking for granted the power of music to just bring people together, and that be such an important outcome in its own right, if just different cultures, different ideas of how the world works being brought together, and as music in general is such a great vehicle for that. I think
that music in general has just been a great way to get us through lockdown. You know, I've listened to so many new bands that I've never heard before, or, you know, really got into some different genres of music that potentially before lockdown I wasn't listening to. And I think music has, got that power to kind of get you through a day where you might be feeling a bit fed up, or be there with you through the moments of, you know, I'm loving today. And that's the power and, you know, connection that music can have.
And on that note, we would love to now share with you We Are the Young People of Today.
English teacher, plastic pollution, dog fighting, global warming, people who treat me like an idiot, being ignored, being put on the spot, homophobia, bullies, overnight homework. 1, 2, 3, 4.
We are the young people of today. Listen to what we have to say. We are the young people of today. Listen to what we have to say. We are the young people of today. Listen to what we have to say. We are the young people of today. Listen to what we have to say.
Okay, James, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Fighting gangs, swearing drunkville, losing in a tournament, better weather, 3-hour movies, headaches, or exploits.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So you all have to say we hate these things. I'll say we hate these things. So let's just fling all of these things away. And just start to stop all of these things. The fighting and swearing, jumping. Literally throw these things away. Hey, hey, hey.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The government. Stupid folk. Bimmers. Having to do stuff. Can hear you with your eyes, so open your ears and listen to us cheer. Can hear you with your eyes, so open your ears and listen to us cheer.
2, 3. We are the young people of today. Listen to what we have to say. We are the young people of today. Listen to what we have to say. We are the young people of today. Listen to what we have to say. We are the young people of today. Listen to what we have to say.